How's it going, everybody? We're live here at the SpinCycle. Let's see what we got going on here. Got no sound in the computer for some reason. Oh, there we go.
For Andrew have not responded to a request for comment. New from the millions of newly released Justice Department records on convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Amongst the thousands of photos, these never-before-seen images of former Prince Andrew, who was stripped of his royal titles last year over his relationship with Epstein,
No idea what's going on with sound. So, anyway, guys, welcome back to the SpinCycle. Go ahead and subscribe, like, follow if you're just here for the first time. We are talking about the new Epstein Files tranche today. I have been doing a little sleuthing and came across a couple articles. So this is from The Hill. So if you don't know what The Hill, poop, do you? I need hi, poop, yeah, grow up. Okay, so this is from The Hill, which is a conservative rag. They're definitely a Donald Trump geared paper or news outlet. Let's see, Sandra Williams, you must be a MAGA sucker, huh? Let's see. We'll just put you in a timeout for 30 minutes and you can fuck off. All right. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche said Sunday that federal investigators are unable to investigate various tips the FBI received about President Trump's alleged involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. Blanche told host Dana Bash on CNN's State of the Union that some tips were anonymous and relied on secondhand information. I wonder why they can't investigate that. Do you think it's because Pam Bondi's head is so far up Donald Trump's ass that she could lick his colon? My favorite bird? Well, I have to say, this might sound like a too American of an answer, but my favorite bird is the bald eagle. But I'm also a ranger in Colorado, so I see bald eagles' nest. I've rescued a few eagles. What is wrong with Trump? He's old, he's stupid, he's a pedophile. What's not wrong with Trump? Why don't you give him a read around? Sounds like you already did. You like chickadees? Chickadees are cool. I like sandpiper too. Braylon Miles, you're such a little bitch. You talk big on the internet. If you were here, you wouldn't say shit because you're a pussy. I put you in a timeout, Braylon. Yeah, Joe Biden is those things too. I'm not a Joe Biden fan either. Among the nearly 3 million additional documents related to the convicted sex offender the Department of Justice released on Friday are allegations about Trump and Epstein the FBI received as tips to its National Threat Operations Center. Emails between DOJ staffers show that the tips were compiled as information from Trump accusers. In August, parts of the document show the FBI contacted many but not all of the initial callers, with some tipsters not leaving their information. But as of Sunday morning, the list of tips regarding the president was no longer available. Why was it no longer available? That seems very suspicious. So you think, Braylon and you other Trump MAGA faggots, you think that Trump is innocent? You dumb motherfuckers. Yeah, I saw the Elon email begging Jeffrey Epstein to get on his plane and come to the island and molest little girls. Elon's a piece of shit just like Trump. Hello, I'm 8. Please don't cuss. Okay, Jennifer, sorry. So I thought it'd be amusing to ask ChatGPT to summarize what's in the new Trump files, you know. AI, everybody loves AI. What the new Epstein files include about Trump. Unverified tips and complaints made in the FBI. Among millions of pages of documents released by the U.S. Department of Justice were tips and complaints that mentioned Donald Trump in connection with Epstein and related allegations. These tips came from members of the public or anonymous sources to the FBI's National Threat Operations Center. Some of these unverified submissions, they have to say unverified over and over because that's what the, Trump's personal lawyers in the Justice Department keep saying. Not about anybody else, just about Trump's unverified. Guys, go ahead and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Like, share. Unless you're Braylon, the bitch pussy who I blocked a minute ago. Some of these unverified submissions included serious claims about sexual misconduct, including at least one allegation from a woman claiming abuse involving Trump when she was a minor. This was described in reporting by several outlets. One widely shared part of the release was a spreadsheet of summary of public complaints that referenced Trump, Epstein, and others, including graphic, unsubstantiated allegations. There it is again, unsubstantiated, because Pam Bondi and Todd Blanche are out there saying, oh, this is unsubstantiated. But I believe these women. And, MAGA believes Trump, what do you tell, 30,000 lies in his first term? But MAGA believes him, whatever he says. We believe it. No, he's not the great white hope. Okay, so let's go on. DOJ says allegations are unverified. Yes, because DOJ, unlike the independent arm of justice they're supposed to be, they are working for Trump 100%. Trump. It's so obvious. They arrested Don Lemon the other day, a reporter. It's in the Constitution or the Declaration of Independence that the free press is supposed to be protected from the government. But yes, our Gestapo government is now arresting members of the press. No new charges of criminal proceedings. A senior DOJ official said the newly released materials, that's Todd Blanche they're talking about, Trump's personal lawyer before he became president this time, and now his personal lawyer in the DOJ, the second in charge. So I thought this was a little, ChatGPT was trying to walk the line here and not lay out graphically what's in the new Epstein files about Trump. So I put in a further question. What are the allegations? Describe in detail. Rape allegations from an FBI tip. One document in the release was a report submitted to the FBI's National Threat Operations Center in 2020 containing a conversation between two people. According to the report, a woman allegedly told a man that Donald Trump raped her alongside Jeffrey Epstein in the mid-1990s. The report described the woman as saying she was afraid for her safety and declined to go to police. That's because also in these files, but of course you got to pay attention to understand that, yeah. According to the report, the woman allegedly told a man that Donald Trump raped her. Okay, I read that. This claim was submitted by a third party to the FBI, and DOJ has said it is unverified, so they didn't investigate it. Because even before Donald Trump was president, he was a billionaire in America who do not get charged with crimes. I keep telling you guys on this channel, it's not a fight against the red and the blue. It's a fight against, it's us against the 1%. So unless you're the 1%, which I'm sure you're not, because the 1% is not watching my stupid live feed. Unless you're the 1%, if you're for Trump and the conservatives, you're out of your mind. So if you're for the Democrats too, and it's like Bernie Sanders, people actually want to do. Are you 13, Jake? Because that you sound like you're 13. You're a fool. Stop being a snowflake. Stop being a simp. Oh, I'm a snowflake because I don't want simp. Democrat, Republican, follow Jesus. Okay, that's good, I guess. But the Jesus follows the one who elected Trump because, you know, they forgive him for his rape. And, you know, Trump faked being a Christian, and all the Christians voted for him because they're stupid. A handful of the tips reference alleged parties at Trump's properties, including his Florida state where Epstein supposedly brought young girls and where sexual exploitation took place. One widely circulated version of this alleged scenario described events where Epstein brought children and Trump supposedly participated in, facilitated abuse. The DOJ labels these tips as sensational and untrue, but the DOJ is going to do that because Pam Bondi and Todd Blanche work for Trump, not for the American people like they're supposed to. You're right, Trump did fake being a Christian. Yeah, I'm not saying you're all stupid. I'm just saying the evangelicals got him elected because they're stupid. They follow their pastors who, let's face it, Trump is basically an evangelical pastor, you know, like Creflo Dollar and, you know, all these guys down south that have jets and giant churches, the mega churches. They're just Trump juniors. You know, Trump followed their model to dupe Christians into thinking he was the next coming of Jesus Christ. So everything we get now is partially responsible for religion. Religion is partially responsible for everything we're going through right now. I don't believe in organized religion. I think it's a tool men, not gods, have used for many, many thousands of years to control the masses. And back in the day, it probably was necessary, but I don't think it's necessary anymore. How do I feel about ICE? I think they should do their job at the border, but I think they should leave hardworking Americans alone, and they certainly shouldn't be shooting people in the back while they're on the ground pinned down. Yeah, ICE needs to melt, I agree. Trump's not using ICE as an immigration force. He's using them as his personal military to control people in the U.S. in blue states, and he's going to try and use them to control the election in 2026. Ice, ice, baby. Dun, 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 dun. Jesus Christ of Nazareth died for your sins so you could live with him in heaven. Okay, well, I don't believe in that, but you can. I believe Jesus existed, but he was just a man. Go jack yourself off. You are put on a timeout for 24 hours. Grow up. What's your name? Jess? What proof do you have that Jesus Christ was God himself? Chipotle or Chick-fil-A? Chipotle. But Chick-fil-A is good too. I mean, I will say that people wouldn't have gotten shot if they wouldn't have been rioting. Yeah, but our First Amendment right for free expression lets us not riot, protest. Rioting is different than protesting. Rioting is what happened on January 6, 2021 at the Capitol, incited by Donald Trump, who a bunch of idiots in our country put back in the White House so he didn't have to go to prison for it. Hi, Dixon. Nice to meet you, too. But Mr. Preddy was his name, who they shot in the back. He wasn't even protesting at the time. He was just protecting a woman who was getting beat up for filming ICE, which is legal. On public property, you're allowed to film whoever you want. Public figures especially, which ICE are. They're federal workers. Five Guys or Jersey Mike's. Well, I'm gonna have to go with Five Guys on that one. I thought Jesus Christ was dead. What do you mean he's the one true living God? I was raised Catholic, I read the Bible when I was a kid, so. No, I'm not pro-ICE. If you guys are new, go ahead and get a subscription. Chuck Norris doesn't use a coffee maker. He grinds the beans with his teeth and boils the water by his pure rage. Does Chuck Norris have teeth? He's like 90 years old. I'm sure they're fake. I have nothing against you guys loving Jesus. I'm just an atheist, so. If you love Jesus and you use your Christianity as an excuse to vote for people like Donald Trump because you want the end of the world to come so you could be, brought up to heaven and everybody else could burn in hell, then you could go fuck yourself. Chuck Norris would kick my ass. Not right now, he wouldn't. He's like 90 fucking years old. He'd break in two. Chuck Norris is an actor. I don't remember being Muslim. Definitely not protesting if they are being violent. Who's the ones being violent are the ICE guys. My newish, not GERD. English. Your English is not good. Okay. Where are you from? JFK. Hello, geriatric. Everybody says that. When people say that, they're usually little bitches. What are you calling geriatric, punk? Sorry, JFK. You could come back another time, but right now, you are gone. Tank. Hi. How are you? Guys, if you're new, go ahead and subscribe. We are talking about the Epstein files. How about some questions about that? How many of you guys think Trump is innocent? Genesis. Yeah, I mean, that's written in a book that God created man, but, you know, I'm a geologist by trade, so I've seen fossils that are much older than that book written, so I question it. Yeah, I'm friends with a lot of people who share different views with me. I live in Colorado. One of my best friends is a rancher who's an avid Trump supporter. He's 84 years old, but he's 30 years older than me, but he's a good friend of mine. He's super drunk? Who's super drunk? I don't drink. So you have all these Bible verses. Did you vote for Trump or didn't you vote for Trump? No, I don't drink, Edward. Yeah, I voted for Kamala because I could see a fucking retarded, evil bastard like Trump when I know one. At least Kamala would have been like milquetoast centrist, which I don't want either. You voted for Trump, yeah. Why? Because you're racist, or because you thought he would fix the economy? Which he's definitely placating your racism, but he's not fixing the economy. That's for sure. Let's see your muscles, Charlie. Are you a little bitch sitting on your mom's couch? What about deportation as being racist? When you're picking up people in the streets because they're brown, that's racism. This country's built on immigrants. My grandparents were immigrants from Italy. You're a racist. Congrats, you just played yourself. I don't think so. All you idiots who voted for Trump played yourselves. Who, me, Charlie? You want me to give you my address? You come knock me over, little punk ass bitch? You're either sitting on your mom's couch or you're some fat, bearded, rural bitch who's got his gun at his side, and that's the only hope he has of ever winning a fight. God's not real. I do agree with that. Okay, guys, if you're new, go ahead and subscribe. Sorry about the language. This Charlie guy's getting me a little fired up. Some young guys just think they're tough because they're young. Being young doesn't make you tough. Hello, Archbishop Richard. How are you? God is real. I don't know what I do to Charlie, but I know he wouldn't show up because people who show up don't talk like he does on the internet. $67. All right. Got 10 years on me. Jesus Christ is the one true living God. I don't understand that. I thought Jesus Christ was in heaven and dead and everything. Just watch my videos if you want to know how much news is here. This is just a live stream. I just talked about the news. Now I'm just reading comments and reacting. Yep, I got a new videos, shorts coming out all the time, but I also have some longer takes. If you're interested, go ahead and subscribe. Jesus Christ defeated death on the cross. I believe Jesus Christ was the guy who was persecuted by Pontius Pilate, by the Romans and all that stuff, but I just don't believe he came back from the dead. I believe he was a good person, and he led men. He was a good leader, good person, but I don't believe he came back from the dead. All the evidence seems to point as that is not what happened. Yeah, put $100 in my 1 minute left of whatever you call them, and I'll bark like a dog. Otherwise, no. Charlie Kirk had it coming. Hello. Charlie Kirk was another racist who people try to cover for. Fuck ice, yeah, I agree. Honestly, about the praying thing, if you ever run into a truly spot, I've prayed many times in my life. I was raised Catholic. I was Catholic. I believed until probably my late 20s, mid 20s, but at some point, I just stopped believing. Charlie Kirk was most definitely a racist. And he was an asshole. And I know the right protects him, but his estate was worth $12 million, so he played you fuckers. Charlie Kirk. How do you get $12 million for going to campuses and talking to college kids? No, you get it by grifting for the right, like Charlie Kirk did. ICE is breaking the law. Why are they wearing masks if they're just law enforcement? Don't make me Kirk you. Black guy asking here, but what did he say that was racist? He said he wouldn't get on a plane if there was a black pilot flying it, for one, amongst many other things, he said. Especially black women. He was, do an internet search. It's all over the internet. Okay, guys, my 30 minutes are up. No super chats, but that's cool. I love you guys anyway. Go ahead and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.